Olestra, cool molecule, even though you shouldn't really eat it.
So what is it used for if you shouldn't eat it?
It's used for as a fat substitute. So in place of any type of fat you might find in, especially like fried food, the biggest usage was by Frito-Lay's, biggest potato chip manufacturer in America, came out. They were like, this was the holy grail product that Procter & Gamble, actually, their laboratory, chemical laboratory, food scientist laboratory, came up with this molecule. It was a sugar molecule. It's kind of crazy. A sugar molecule, but instead of a sugar molecule is surrounded by OH groups, hydroxyl groups around it. And they're actually chemical bonding points of a molecule. OH groups can actually, because an oxygen molecule has free electrons, and you can, within chemistry, you can bond another molecule to those free electrons. Those electrons can become bonding pairs and bond another molecule. And so what they did was they took a fat molecule. They took a fat molecule and it attached a sugar molecule, kind of
to one another.
In a way. So
or they use them to bridge each other.
Yeah. So specifically, a fat molecule is kind of unusual. The chemical name is a triglyceride.
Yes.
So you
get those levels checked with the blood work.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. So that's the terminology. Check your triglycerides sounds really fancy than saying check your fats, because fat would mean like check your body fat.
Yeah.
But check your triglycerides is a little different. Even though triglycerides fat, triglyceride is 3 fatty acids and a glycerol molecule. Glycerol is same as glycerin, same molecule. Glycerin is a 3-carbon backbone molecule, and it has hydroxides as bonding sites. So it bonds to a fatty acid. Fatty acids are the long chain molecules. They're without getting into the chemistry too much, it's hard without a diagram, but basically 3 fatty acids, glycerol. They took a fatty acid, one of the 3, and stuck a bunch of them around the sugar molecule, and it made this huge, look like an oil, maybe to physically. It had an oil-like properties, but your body enzymes, which have to break down these molecules, doesn't know what it is. So you have no enzyme to actually break down a Olestra molecule. But
it's being used in things that were consumed.
Because physically it has, yeah. So in other words, it just goes right through you.
Okay.
So kind of fascinating. And then you start to realize the ramifications. So what could happen when you eat that? One was the term that a nonprofit organization called the Center for Science and the Public Interest. They got a FDA to require, in order, it was like a deal, like you can pass it legally, let people eat it. It will be approved by the FDA, but it will. You have to put a warning label that says it will cause anal leakage.
Wow. There you go.
Yeah, to the point. And which was, I guess, true.
So was that in like the fine print on every piece of food?
Yeah, it was like on the back.
Oh, Jesus.
I think on the front.
Oh, it had to be right on the front. Yeah, right on the front. But it was like font 4.
I don't remember how big it was.
Yeah, it was font 4.
It wasn't font 4, but it was big enough that you
definitely under 10.
It wasn't tobacco font long. Yeah, it was in between. But Frito-Lay went to production, made it. And I think just enough, like comedians made fun of it, even in that era, and people eventually they were like, "This is not worth it." I don't know exactly, was it the business case or was it? But then there was another nutritional risk in which the vitamins that are fat soluble vitamins A, E, D, and K are the most common ones. Important vitamins, they would leach out of your body, especially if you, not directly through your bloodstream, but if you ate the chips with a meal, which I don't really know if people were doing, but if they used the Olestra with making a real food, like, I don't know, like
did it have to be fibrous? Because I know pairing sometimes
maybe
the fiber with certain objects kind of pushes them out even better without having those side effects.
Maybe. I mean, fiber is a healthy, slows your digestion, but your body can still get the vitamins and minerals. The oils would kind of solubilize any fat soluble nutrients. So it would end up, because instead of being broken down, it would just solubilize these micronutrients, and so people would not benefit by any of the micronutrients. So it's hard to call Olestra healthy.
Yeah.
So the only use for Olestra was potato chips.
And it was used, you said, for the fryer.
Yeah, for the frying purposes, right, in the fryer. So you couldn't use Olestra in healthier foods because you wouldn't have any vitamins, at least any fat-soluble vitamins. But so it really was like to make junk food healthier.
Well, they're constantly trying to make junk food healthier. kind of constantly trying to cut corners and use
Yeah.
different things.